I got so much influence from the musical that I would like to hear the gunshot sound pretty much like a drum beat. But one handgun is hard to do that, How about two guns? All of a sudden, I'm seeing a movie like all the jazz when Bob Fosse tapped his leg. After I got the musical rhythm, I said, that's it, that's it. Just since I was a big fan of Jean Melville, I've been trying very hard to make a movie like The Samurai. I've been expecting to make a movie, that kind of movie, for over 10 years. But I didn't kind of studio interested because at that time I became sort of like the box office person. Nobody wanted to hire me, and then somebody even looked down on me. But turned out that he believed in me and he gave me a script or a Better Tomorrow. The script was so plain. It was about the two brothers' story, and then he turned out. He encouraged me. He said, why don't you put yourself into the film? There's something you want to say from your heart. Let the movie, tell your own story. I'm a Christian. Church, pretty much like heaven, There's the evil for the mankind, they just breaking in and ruin the heaven, and they destroy everything. They destroy all kind of beauty. So our two heroes, fortunately, because two heroes, they're fighting for the justice and then defending the only beauty in the world. Originally, the first idea came to my mind is I have read a British news in Japan. There was a psychopath, and he injected poison into the baby food and put it in the supermarket. A couple of child, got killed. So originally, I tried to, make it kind of a story because I love babies. An angel to me. But after we start shooting, I just found if I make this kind of story, it might give the Hong Kong or Asian young people some kind of bad influence. They might learn from it because of Tony Lau becoming their role model. So I changed my mind. I changed my mind and then changed it to make Tony Lau as such a character, as an undercover cop. We saving the baby instead of killing the baby. The saving the last hope. So that was the idea of changing a lot.
In the city of New Orleans, in a darker side of Dixie, away from the music and the lights.
You want to find your father, get somebody who knows the city to show you around.
Now, the opposition is about to get one last chance.
I was pretty surprised that in America, the director had to decide on the action and not a stunt coordinator. In Hong Kong, the stunt coordinator will demonstrate creating some new kind of action and showing to me, but not in America. So you have to let them know your idea. For them, he's as long as you have decided something look beautiful and then make him look like a hero, then he was happy to do anything. Most of the time, he was just like a child. He also wanted to do a good job, even though he tried to control, everything, but always stopped by the producer, and then do your own work.
They are America's first line of defense. Best of friends.
Captain. map of the Earth. Here we go.
Fierce competitors
Very nicely done. Almost as good as me.
ready to protect our nation against any threat.
Carrying the nukes. You love having the power of God at your fingertips.
Not tonight, buddy.
But what if the enemy is one of them?
At the beginning, I got a little nervous because John Travolta had never seen any of my movie before. Quentin Tarantino did a great help. When he find out that I tried to get John Travolta, he have got one of my favorite movies, and The Killer, and he wanted to show it to John Travolta. But unfortunately, the copy have no subtitle. Couldn't remember all the lines. I didn't speak for the movie, and then to explain to John Travolta word by word. And then John, he loved the movie, so that's how he got the character in Broken Arrow. He said, I just playing like Joe and Brad. I think it's exciting to set up a fighting scene on a moving train because, our stunt coordinator was the stunt coordinator for the movie Speed. I found out later my stunt coordinator didn't like slow motion. I said, slow motion is my style, my own style. If I hadn't used any slow motion in my movie, I couldn't see myself in the movie.
I've been chasing this guy ever since I joined the force. He has no conscience, and he shows no remorse. He's the most dangerous and brilliant criminal mind I've ever known. And now, after all this time, I finally figured out a way to trap him. I will become him.
John would love to work with Nick Cage, Of course, their look is so much different, okay? But they try to use some kind of body movement, try to convince their audience. So they have spent 2 or 3 weeks. They work together in a house, and then Nick would say, I will walk like a ballet dancer. And then John Travolta imitates his walk. There was a lovely thing from our stunt team, and the special effect team, What I'm asking is the speedball jump up from behind, from another speedball tail, just crashing through to the end and landing. And then so that's was big enough for me, But the special effect team, they even go a little further. And then you say, John, how about SM Dynamite? And then why not? Is it possible? Because we have a guy driving the speedboat. They were not pulling by cable. It's a really high speed, the running up the ramp, We have people there. We were driving inside, They said, no, you won't get hurt. Why not? Let's do it, So it's a lovely team, they're all crazy. They're all always trying to do something crazy.
Well, Mr. Hunt, I don't quite know where to begin.
You know me?
No. Should I?
She's got no training for this kind of thing. I don't think I can do it.
I mean, it'll be difficult.
Very.
Well, this is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible.
Tom Cruise also tried to do all different kind of experiment and try to find a certain kind of style for himself, to establish, what kind of action will attract the audience, what kind of performers get the people's heart, At the beginning, he was so much concerned about the rating. He had never wanted to be a rated R movie, And he understood, I'm famous with the violence. So he had a little doubt about the 2 guns. I said, I guarantee you, when you holding 2 guns and sliding out and doing shooting, it would look beautiful, you know. And after he tried one, and he said, "Can I have more?" You know.